Hello friends, this is Nirmal here for Technique, and today we are going to do the detailed review of the Gionee Elife E7 Mini. So this phone was announced along with the E7 back in December last year in India, and it went on sale only in April this year. So this is a mid-range phone with impressive specs. It has a 4.7-inch HD display. It runs on an Octa Core processor with 1 GB of RAM. There's a 13 megapixel camera with LED flash. There's 16 GB of storage, and it runs Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean. And Gionee has included the custom UI of Amigo, which is already available on the E7 as well as the S5.5. So we'll have a detailed look into this device and see how it performs. So that was the quick specs of the device. Now let's go in detail with respect to each of these features. One of the most important aspect of this phone is the camera. So you can see here it has a unique camera mechanism wherein you have only one camera, that's a 13 megapixel rear camera with LED flash, and you can rotate the camera to make it a front facing camera. So that's a really great mechanism, and you can just flip to the front to open the front facing camera. So that's one of the unique selling points of this phone, and the camera mechanism is really well built. Now let's talk about the different aspects of the phone. Now let's talk about the design and build quality of this phone. So similar to other Gionee phones like the E7 and S5.5, which had impressive build quality, the E7 Mini also comes with a great build quality. So you can see this is again a unibody design with a non-removable back cover, and it has flat edges on the left and the right side, and top and bottom has curved edges, which gives the device a nice feel. The volume keys and the power button are located on the right side, and you can see here the 3.5mm audio jack as well as the micro USB charging point located at the bottom, and on the top you have this rotating camera mechanism, which is again what we said the unique selling point of this device. On the left you have this SIM card tray, wherein you can use the pin to eject the SIM card and insert the dual SIM card. So this phone has a dual SIM card, and you can insert it from here, and it has a nice matte finish back panel with the Gionee branding. So overall the fit and finish and the quality of device is really good and really impressive for this price range. Now coming on to the display. So this phone comes with a 4.7-inch HD display, but generally if you see most of the phones in this price range does have a full HD display like the Micromax Canvas Night and few other phones, but this phone does have only HD display, but that is not a disadvantage for this device, because it has a really impressive build display, and the colors and the contrast ratios are really good, and you can see the viewing angles are also really impressive. So overall the display on this device is one of the best you can pick on this price range. So we don't have any issues with display, the color reproduction, the contrast ratios, the brightness, and also the viewing angles and the sunlight readability is really good. Now talking about the software and the performance, so this phone comes with Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean out of the box, and Gionee has customized it with its Amigo UI. Again, this is the version 2.0. So just like what we have on the general Android phones, the home screen as well as the app launcher, this does not come with an app drawer. Instead it has all the apps installed, whatever is installed available in the home screen, similar to what we have on the iOS. So there is one big disadvantage of this is that searching apps is a tad difficult, because they are not sorted alphabetically. So although you have this option to search apps, but that is not really user friendly. So searching apps might be a difficult task on this phone, especially if you have lots of apps installed on a phone, and the lack of widget support is another thing. So this does have only one weather widget, and there's no other widget included in this, so that's a really big issue. So if you like customizing with widgets, you need to install a launcher. So there are quite a lot of launchers. We would recommend now a launcher for the home screen. So on the software front, there are a lot of limitations. Now coming on to the performance aspect, this phone runs with 1 GB of RAM and an Octa Core processor. Although there isn't much of an issue with performance, here and there you can see slight lag probably because it does have only 1 GB of RAM and the UI is heavily customized. So probably you can see lag here and there, but overall we wouldn't say this is a the performance is bad, but the performance is pretty good with the Octa Core processor and 1 GB of RAM. But what Gionee could have done is include a 2 GB RAM in this unit, which would have made the performance really fast. Because Canvas Night, which is almost a price in this same range, has a 2 GB RAM with again Octa Core processor. So overall the UI is a bit downside on this device, because there is no widget support. Moreover, there is no option for customizing this UI apart from having a bit of rearranging of apps into folders. So that's one big issue. So apart from that, overall the performance, the speed with which you can launch apps, there is multitasking. You can just press the home screen from the home screen to switch apps. So those things are pretty decent. Now talking about the camera of this phone, so this comes with a 13 megapixel camera, and that's one of the best features of this phone. We already told the rotating camera mechanism. The rotating camera mechanism, when we think of, we would generally have the feeling that it might just come out after some, say, if you are using camera for quite a long time, it might just the mechanism might just fail. But Gionee has done the work really great, and the mechanism is really good, and there is no the mechanism perfectly fits into place, and you don't have any issues using this camera. Now the camera UI is not the same as what you find on the other Gionee phones. We already done the review of the camera, and you can see that there are quite a lot of options, and the UI is a bit different. The photos taken using this phone is really good, and the colors and the quality of photos is again brilliant. We would rate it much better than the Gionee's Elife S5.5, because this has a better color to color and contrast ratios, wherein on S5.5 you can see that it's a bit oversaturated. So on the camera front, this phone really excels, and the camera quality on this device is again good. Now coming on to the battery performance, we were really impressed with the battery on this device. Although it does not have a really big battery in capacity, the performance is pretty decent. We wouldn't say this is a really high battery performance, but for a phone in this price range, it's a pretty decent battery performance, and you would get at least a day of usage with this battery. So overall, the Gionee Elife E7 with the specs is a really impressive phone in this price range, and we would say that this phone does have the capabilities to be a real winner in this price range. Initially it was launched at a price of around 19k, which we feel it's a bit overpriced, since it has only a HD display when we compare to the Micromax Canvas Night, which is also already priced in the same range, which has a full HD display and a bigger display in the form of 5-inch full HD display. Now this phone is priced around the 16.5k in India, and that's an excellent pricing for this device, because it has really impressive specs. Say you can compare with the Moto G, which is slightly cheaper than this phone, but still it has a 4.7-inch brilliant display with great viewing angles, excellent colors, and the build quality is really good. You feel really great when holding this device, and the fit and finish is also brilliant. And the camera, as we said, we have talked about this camera. This is a really performing camera. The 13 megapixel camera with the rotating mechanism is again a solidly built camera, and overall the performance and software is above average, even though we would definitely have wanted 2 GB of RAM and a better UI from Gionee, but still then this is a really great performing device with again a pretty decent battery life. So that's the detailed review of the Gionee Elife E7 Mini. So we have talked about all the aspects of the phone, including the design, build quality, display, the performance, the software, and the camera, along with the battery life. So if you have any specific queries regarding this, drop a comment and we'll be glad to help you out with your queries. If you like this video, do hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates, and thanks for watching this video.